great vacation. Sort of. But man, is it ever good to be home. Wait a minute. Something missing. There you are. That feels so much better. Yeah, okay. Now, where were we? So, finally back in the old studio once again. I have to say, it's good to be home. There is no place like it. Especially for recording Thinking Caps on number 13. Ooh, lucky 13! What could possibly happen? Well, we'll have to see. Today's episode, well, it seems very apropos that we should talk about Star Trek. Not just because I'm wearing the United Federation of Planets t-shirt, but because, well, there's Star Trek in the Bible. What? Oh yeah, it's true. Please, brothers, turn in your Bible. No, I'm kidding. Take a look at John chapter 6. And this video is dedicated to one person. I saw this post in one of the Facebook groups I'm in, and the person was asking, like, wait, is there teleportation in the Bible? And also, I want to give a shout out to my good friend and basically someone that I call brother, my good brother, James Winner, who brought up the point of, aren't all miracles supposed to be still within the laws of physics? So John chapter 6 is kind of full of a few of these miracles. So miracle number 1 is when Jesus feeds a multitude of people with nothing but a few loaves and a couple of fishes. And yet the Bible account of this tells us that everybody at this gathering that ate of the fishes and the loaves ate to satisfaction. And besides all of that, there were leftovers. Like, a lot of leftovers. But it doesn't end there. Next, Jesus and his followers decide that they're going to go across to the other side of the Sea of Galilee, to Capernaum, and so the disciples get into a boat or ship, depending upon which translation you're talking about, and go on ahead of him. Now, on Thinking Caps on number 12, we talked about Jesus walking on water. And this is one of the accounts where Jesus comes walking across the water on choppy seas and everything. And at first, when the disciples are looking out and like, wait, what is that? And he calls out to them and says, "Have no fear, it is I." And then they are willing to receive him into the boat. So therein you have, I don't know, some kind of, defying gravity kind of thing. So that's miracle number 2. But then thirdly, and this is the really interesting part, and this is like the post that was made in this Facebook group, John chapter 6, verse 21. I've looked at various translations of the Bible. Yes, I'm sorry, I did a little bit of Bible reading. And all of the verses basically say the same thing, that immediately the boat arrived to where they were planning to go. So in the previous verse, it said that, like they're out in the middle of the sea, that it was choppy and everything. Jesus came walking across to them, told them, don't worry, it's just me. It's not some kind of sea ghost. Gets in with them, and then they're right where they wanted to be. So, there's sounds like 3 miracles here. So, I mean, are all of these miracles within the realms of science and physics? Sure, why not? Because, well, let's just say that, for the sake of argument, that Star Trek is in the Bible. So, number 1, feeding a whole multitude of people with just a few loaves and a couple of fishes? Well, Jesus must have had a replicator. And plenty of food left over. Well, I guess he replicated just a little bit too much food. Oops. I mean, honestly, I've made casseroles for myself in a giant crock pot, and then that was supper, lunch, supper, lunch, supper, lunch, supper, lunch, supper, lunch for like the next week because I made a massive amount. So, it can be tricky cooking for one, never mind the thousands. What are you going to do? Nobody's perfect. Miracle number 2, walking across water. Well, we've already discussed that one in a previous episode, but again, here's something. What if Jesus was wearing anti-gravity sandals? We see Spock wear anti-gravity boots, even rocket boots in Star Trek V, and there's all kinds of anti-gravity like stretchers and everything else that we see in Star Trek. What if Jesus had on anti-gravity sandals? And then the third one, immediately after he gets in the boat, they're right where they wanted to go. Transporter. Must have had a transporter. Just beam me over to Capernaum or something like that. Just a thought. And then this one, James and I were discussing this earlier today when I'm recording this video. We're discussing the idea that when Jesus was transfigured and the apostles that were with him saw him like lighting up real bright and everything, and then they saw him talking with Moses and Elijah. Well, were they on a holodeck by any chance? Or for that matter, there is an episode in Star Trek The Next Generation in season 3 called Transfigurations. Jesus was an alien. Oh, see it all. Star Trek in the Bible. There it is. I'm going to give you one more. And this is like outside of the Gospels. John having his revelations on the island of Patmos. Are we sure that maybe, just maybe, he wasn't like infected with some kind of alien root or whatever that put him in a coma, and then they had like one of those little clip show devices just attached to his head, and that's what he saw while he was being treated? More Star Trek in the Bible? Things that make you go, beam me up. What? Wait. Sorry, there seems to be somebody at the door. One sec. Yes?
That was almost too easy. Now, let's see here. Is this thing on? Huh. Hey, Rudolph, you're gonna have to put the sleigh in the loading zone. I might be a few minutes.